Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to this presentation by The Last Crescent on Gog and Magog, or Yajuj and Majuj. Now, if you speak with Muslims about Yajuj and Majuj, you just ask them what they think about Yajuj and Majuj. Every Muslim has some kind of a belief system, some kind of idea of what Yajuj and Majuj is, who they are. So let's take a look at what are these commonly held beliefs about Yajuj and Majuj. So if you look at pictures of Yajuj and Majuj, you just go online and you search in Google or you search in YouTube, these are the kinds of images that come up about Yajuj and Majuj, Gog and Magog. You see some kind of an orc-like creature with big fangs and yellowish skin, yellow eyes, big ears, or black, hideous monster. This particular image on the top right is actually one of the most famous video thumbnails for videos on Yajuj and Majuj on YouTube. So this is a very common image. This is what comes to people's mind when they imagine Gog and Magog or Yajuj and Majuj, some kind of a orc-like monster. So the first question, really important question we must ask ourselves is, who are Yajuj and Majuj? Who are Gog and Magog? And when I meet people, this is one of the questions I often ask them. I ask, who are Yajuj and Majuj in your opinion? And I've heard a variety of different answers. So some people say to me that Yajuj and Majuj are aliens and they are going to invade Earth and colonize Earth at some point. I ask other people and they say, no. Yajuj and Majuj are actually ice monsters. They're trapped in the Earth's ice sheet. And when global warming kicks in and the ice sheet melts, that's the point when Yajuj and Majuj will be everywhere. Other people, they have different opinions. They say, no. Yajuj and Majuj are actually underground, subterranean cave dwellers. And yet people also have other opinions, like Yajuj and Majuj are not even on land, they're not in space, they're actually somewhere in the depths of the ocean. I mean, most of the ocean is unmapped, that's what they tell me. And they say that they're somewhere in the ocean. Maybe they're from the lost city of Atlantis. People have a number of different ideas or imaginings about Gog and Magog, Yajuj and Majuj. One thing, though, that everyone agrees upon is that Yajuj and Majuj will make an appearance and really be active in their maximum capacity near the end of days, near the Yom al-Qiyamah, the Day of Judgment. That's the point in time when Yajuj and Majuj will be most active. And that Yajuj and Majuj will have a role, that they will cause great corruption, they will spread fitna, death and destruction across the entire world. So those are some of the commonly held beliefs that I have heard people speak about when I've asked them about Yajuj and Majuj, that there's some kind of a monster, there's some kind of a creature. They seem to have not appeared yet. I haven't seen any monsters roaming the streets, and there are a number of theories that people have told me that maybe they're aliens, they're trapped in an ice sheet, so on and so forth, that they will appear close to the Day of Judgment. They will cause great fitna, wars, corruption throughout the earth. So now I want to show you something quite different. Putting all of those ideas on one side, this is a picture of London and the Lord Mayor's Show. This is a parade that happens every year where the old companies that were the founding companies of London participate in this parade. There's a lot of pomp and show, and they really present the work they've done and their history and their contribution to London's success over time. Various military brigades, forces from the Army, Air Force, and Navy also participate in this parade. You can see there's an officer right there. And many spectators from the entirety of the United Kingdom come down to London each year to see this parade. It's also broadcast across various news channels. So let's take a look at this specific video of the Lord Mayor's Show 2009. The interesting thing about this video is that it says Gog and Magog. And if you look here, that says Gog. So let's see what this video is about. And by the way, I've left the video ID here in the screenshot. So if you want, you can look this video up yourself. It's on YouTube. So let's take a look at this video, and I want you to pay especially close attention to what is being said by the news reporter who's commenting on this video. So let's have a listen together.
Well, Gog and Magog, one of the most familiar sights at any Lord Mayor's show for many, many years. Traditional guardians of the City of London, and they've been carried at the Lord Mayor's show since 1554. And the current wickerwork, Gog and Magog, well, it was wooden statues up until 1708. They were carved, but as you can imagine, they were very, very heavy indeed. And also alongside the basket makers, we have the 100th Yeomanry Regimental Royal Artillery Volunteers.
So there's a lot of interesting things in this video. I think we should watch it one more time. And for those of you who might not understand the British accent, I will just say what he is speaking and I will just repeat what he's saying so that you can understand exactly what the words mean. So let's play it again.
Well, Gog and Magog, one of the most familiar sights at any Lord Mayor's show.
Gog and Magog, Yajuj and Majuj, one of the most familiar sights at any Lord Mayor's parade. For many, many years. Okay. So they are a very essential part of the parade. They've been here for many, many years. What else does he say about them?
Many, many years. Traditional guardians of the City of London.
Traditional guardians of the City of London? So this reporter is saying that Yajuj and Majuj are the traditional guardians of the City of London. What is a guardian? A guardian is a protector. Someone who protects, someone who guards, someone who looks after the safekeeping and well-being. So let's see what else he's saying.
They've been carried at the Lord Mayor's show since 1554.
They've been carried in this show since the year 1554. 1554. That's nearly 500 years. That's how many years these two statues of Yajuj and Majuj, Gog and Magog, have been carried and paraded in this show.
The current wickerwork, Gog and Magog, well, it was wooden statues up.
And right there, Gog and Magog, Yajuj and Majuj. And the first time you see this video, you might say, well, this is just a one-off. Well, let's go back in time. This is a video from 1953. It's called Gog and Magog Back in London. Let's take a listen to this video.
Sculptor David Evans puts the finishing touches to two old friends of Londoners, Gog and Magog. 12 years ago, effigies of the two giants were destroyed when the city's Guildhall was blitzed. But now, exact replicas copied from models are all set to go back to town to take their place. Outside Guildhall, where Gog and Magog have made their home since the reign of Henry V, crowds welcome their return. Weighing 3/4 of a ton each and standing 9'3", they dwarf the onlookers. Although no one's sure why they should live in Guildhall at all, it's certainly like old times to have Gog and Magog in London again.
Okay, let's review this video and let's just see exactly what's being said.
Sculptor David Evans puts the finishing touches to two old friends of Londoners, Gog and Magog.
Sculptor David Evans puts the finishing touches on two old friends of London, Gog and Magog. On two old friends of London, Yajuj and Majuj. Can you believe that? That's what the video is saying.
12 years ago, effigies of the two giants were destroyed when the city's Guildhall was blitzed. But now, exact replicas copied from models are all set to go back to town to take their place.
So, exact replicas copied from models are all set to take their place back in town. Look at the care, look at the dedication he has. Look at how he's just carving each part of the statue. Look at that.
Outside Guildhall, where Gog and Magog have made their homes since the reign of Henry V.
So outside Guildhall, which is this building, very fancy building, where Gog and Magog, Yajuj and Majuj have made their home since the reign of Henry V, since medieval times, okay?
Of Henry V, crowds welcome their return, weighing 3/4 of a ton each. And
the crowds welcomed their return. The crowds are saying, welcome back. It's nice to have you back, Yajuj and Majuj. It's great that you're back in London. They're all, and she's smiling. He's quite, surprised.
Standing 9'3", they dwarf the onlookers. Although no one's sure why they should live in Guildhall at all.
No one's sure why they're in Guildhall. No one's sure why are these statues in Guildhall, but they're happy that they're there, okay?
It's certainly like old times to have Gog and Magog in London again.
It's certainly like old times to have Gog and Magog in London again. It's like it's a friend or a family member that's been gone, and now it's like old times that they've come back. Yeah, Yajuj and Majuj back in London again. Okay, let's go back even further in time. Let's go back to this video from the year 1928. It's a video of the Lord Mayor's show. It says, the centuries-old pageant of the city of London makes striking spectacle when the new Lord Mayor, Sir Kingston Studd, rides in procession to the law courts to be sworn in as London's chief magistrate. This video is so old, in fact, that there is no sound. It's actually just a silent video. So it says, Gog and Magog, the city giants, reappear in the show after an absence of 250 years. And here they are, Yajuj and Majuj, paraded in London. So when I've shown these videos to people for the first time, they are definitely shocked. People living in London, who lived in London their whole lives, who've seen this particular parade broadcast on television, never knew what it is that they were looking at. And when I pointed it out to them that this is a parade honoring Yajuj and Majuj, they said, well, this is all fine and well, but these are old videos, and they must have stopped this by now. And so this is a video, this is a very good one. This is from the year 2023. This is a video that's very, very recent, November 15th, 2023, of the Lord Mayor's show. Magog. That's Gog right there. And notice something. Notice they are at the head of the procession. They are at the start of the parade. They are the most important feature in this parade. They are leading the parade. Everybody else is behind them. Look at the sense of ceremony. Look at the fact that they're all wearing robes. Look at how this man is holding on to this ribbon. They're all so proud. They're parading the statues of Yajuj and Majuj. They're waving their hands. They're proud to show off about these two statues. Morning. And you can tell this is a very recent video. This is London. This is modern London. So that's one aspect of Yajuj and Majuj, right? But you have to also understand the symbolism. There's a lot of symbolism at play here. And nothing is more striking than the fact that their statues are in Guildhall. So if you don't know about Guildhall, it's very important to understand the history of this building, the importance of this building, and what does it represent to have these statues within London's Guildhall. This is a short video that talks about the history of Guildhall, and I think you'll find it very interesting. So let's play it together.
This wonderfully impressive building in the heart of the city has been a Guildhall for over 1,000 years.
So this building in the heart of the city of London, it's the heart of the city, has been the Guildhall for over 1,000 years, a millennia. That's how old this building is. That's how important it is. It's a building that has been there for a millennia. Okay, Let's continue.
The Saxon tradesmen and merchants were the first people to organise themselves into guilds, and they built their Guildhall here on the foundations of the largest amphitheatre in Roman Britain.
In the 13th century, King John allowed Londoners to elect a mayor, and this building has been the mayoral seat ever since.
So since the 13th century, this building has been the seat of the Mayor of London. Since the 13th century. So for a long, long time. Everything you're seeing here is steeped in tradition, it's steeped in ancient history.
The building we see today was built in 1411 in the reign of Henry V, and although it was partially gutted by the Great Fire of London and the Second World War, it is pretty much unchanged. The current facade, added in 1788, is in the style of the Hindustani Gothic, and the timber roof, that is more in line with the medieval original, was renovated in 1866 and again after the Second World War. In the main hall, there are stunning statues of figures of British history.
Okay, in the main hall, there are, as she says, stunning statues of British history. So who are these statues? Who are featured? Who are the people featured in these statues? Who are the key figures in British history that have the honor and the privilege to be showcased and displayed in this building, in the Guildhall, in the heart of the city of London that has been here for the last millennia? Let's take a look together. Who are these people?
Such as Pitt, the Younger and Elder.
Okay, Pitt the Younger and Elder.
The Duke of Wellington.
The Duke of Wellington. So the Duke of Wellington fought against Napoleon, defeated Napoleon, and set the groundwork for the establishment and global dominance of the British Empire. So he's an essential, very, very important key figure in the political and military rise of Great Britain. Okay, who else?
Admiral Nelson.
Admiral Nelson, one of the most important figures in British maritime history. Again, political and military connection there.
And Winston Churchill.
Winston Churchill, I'm sure you have heard of Winston Churchill. He was the Prime Minister of Britain during World War II. Again, he's considered as one of the most important and influential political figures in the history of Great Britain. So you have Admiral Nelson, we have Duke of Wellington, we have Winston Churchill. These are the so-called heroes of Britain. These are the heroes that they are celebrating in the history of Britain. And who else do we have here?
The two modern statues of Gog and Magog have a surprising history in the Guildhall. Gog and Magog were the giants that lived in Britain before the arrival of Troy. Their statues are paraded with the mayor around the city on the day of his inauguration.
Yajuj and Majuj, Gog and Magog, Winston Churchill, Gog and Magog, Admiral Nelson, Gog and Magog, Duke of Wellington, Gog and Magog, and their statues are paraded every year. Winston Churchill's statue is not paraded. Duke of Wellington's statue is not paraded. Admiral Nelson's statue is not paraded, but they are so important and so influential and so key to British history that for 500 years nearly, every single year, their statues have the honor and the privilege to be paraded in London. So their rank is above Winston Churchill. Yajuj and Majuj have a higher rank in British history than Winston Churchill, Admiral Nelson, and Duke of Wellington all put together.
A ceremony that hasn't changed since medieval times. The original wooden statues were destroyed by fire during the war, but now these fabulous, garish new creatures stare down at the Great Hall.
And she says these fabulous, garish new creatures stare down at the Great Hall. I mean, she's excited about the fact that look at how scary they're looking. I mean, it is a scary statue, I will say that, but still, there's a sense of pride in her voice. You can hear it. She's excited about these statues. This is pretty surprising, and the first time you see this, I can imagine it's quite shocking, but the story doesn't end there. Let's go and examine this even further. This is from the Lord Mayor's Show website. Because all of those figures of British history, they had military and political connections. But Gog and Magog also have a business and financial connection. So you can see here a screenshot from the website. It says Gog and Magog symbolize one of many links between the modern business institutions of the city and its ancient history. Notice, modern business of the City of London and ancient history, and they symbolize one of many links. So Gog and Magog have a special place, an extra special place, because not only do they have a role in the military and politics, but also in the financial success, prestige, prowess of Britain. And this video really sums it up in the best way possible. This is being broadcast by BBC, so it's an official source. This is a BBC reporter, and this is from the Lord Mayor's Show 2014. And this reporter just, he lets the cat out of the bag. He says the hidden secret, although it's not really hidden, but he says it very, very plainly. So pay extra close attention to what this BBC reporter is about to say regarding Gog and Magog, Yajuj and Majuj. Let's have a listen together.
So we got Gog and Magog coming up here. They are mythical pagan giants. And London has become something of an important emblem for London. And the expression standing on the shoulders of giants reflects London's wealth and prestige based on the hard work done by Gog and Magog. They've been paraded in the show since Henry V. Remarkable. It's over 450 years ago.
Okay, let's just unpack this video, because he says a lot of things in a very short period of time. So let's go near the start. What does he say? Gog and Magog, Yajuj and Majuj.
They are mythical pagan giants.
They are mythical pagan giants, all right.
And London has become something of an important emblem for London. And
by the way, if they were just mythical pagan giants, they probably would not be in Guildhall, because Admiral Nelson was not mythical, neither was Winston Churchill, and neither was the Duke of Wellington, by the way. So, just wanted to point that out to you.
Something of an important emblem for London.
So there's something of an important emblem for London. What is an emblem? An emblem is a seal that represents something. So they are the symbolic representation of London. They represent what London stands for. They represent London as it is, as a whole. They are the representation, they are the seal of London, they are the emblem of London. Okay.
And the expression standing on the shoulders of giants reflects London's wealth and prestige based on the hard work done by Gog and Magog.
The expression standing on the shoulders of giants reflects London's wealth and prestige built on the hard work of Gog and Magog. London's wealth and prestige built on the hard work of Yajuj and Majuj. Wow.
They've been paraded in the show since Henry V.
They've been paraded in the show since Henry V, and then he says it's nearly 450 years.
Remarkable. It's over 450 years ago.
Magog. Right there. And so we've established the connection of Yajuj and Majuj with London, but you will actually find these kinds of statues in many places. So this is a picture of the Royal Arcade in Melbourne, Australia, and this is in Melbourne's central business district. Again, the connection between Yajuj and Majuj and business. And if you arrive at the top of the hour, you'll hear Gaunt's clock, that's the name of the clock, alerting you to the time. They say follow the chimes and look up, and you'll see two statues flanking the clock dial. Gog and Magog. Since 1892, these two medieval warriors. See, they're not describing them as mythical pagan giants, they're saying they are medieval warriors. Have watched over, again, guardian, protector, watching over the southern side of the arcade. And it even says right here, Gog and Magog. Yeah, just underneath the clock, it just says it clearly, Gog and Magog. And it doesn't just even stop in Australia. By the way, this is, very scary. This is the same kind of statue of Yajuj and Majuj, Gog and Magog, striking the clock, striking the bell. This time it's in the United States. This is in America. This is in the state of Michigan, specifically Dearborn, Michigan. Now, Dearborn, Michigan is the home of the Ford Motor Company. That's where the Ford Motor Company was founded. That's where Henry Ford is from. And Dearborn, Michigan is the central hub of America's automotive industry. So it's strange that you always find these statues near the hub of financial business districts. They have a link with politics. They have a link with military prowess. They have a link with finance. And they are shown to the public with full display and with a lot of sense of pride. I mean, look at the decoration, look at the shield. Another interesting thing is notice that this shield actually has the symbol of England. That's the English flag. That's again a lion right there. So this is the connection of London with America, the connection of London with Australia. Australia was a colony of Britain, and a lot of people emigrated from London to America and established the first colonies in the US. So this is really important. This is quite puzzling, right? The first time you come across this, because we're thinking of Yajuj and Majuj as monsters, as aliens, as ice creatures, as subterranean dwellers. Yet, for 500 years, they've been the guardian and protectors of London. We are hearing the people say, in their own words, that London's wealth and prestige was built on the hard work of Yajuj and Majuj. How is that possible? How is that possible if they are aliens? How is that possible if they are underground creatures? Gog and Magog effigies have been paraded in London since medieval times, and that their statues are in one of London's most important and historic buildings. They're given a higher status than Winston Churchill, than Admiral Nelson, than all of these important figures of British history, that they're the friends of London. They're key figures in the historical rise of Britain. And not only are they found in Britain, but their statues are found in old colonies of the British Empire like Australia and America. So we must ask ourselves the question, how can these modern facts, the things that we are seeing and with our own eyes, hearing with our own ears, how can these facts about Yajuj and Majuj be understood? How does this make sense with all of the things that we think we know about Yajuj and Majuj? How do we reconcile these two things?